Hi everyone, and thanks for passing by. Today we'll be having a look at some of the advanced settings on the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra controller. This is the new controller from Turtle Beach. I've done a review on the controller, so if you guys want to know more about this controller, go and check out that video. I will leave it down in the description. So there are three ways that we can change the settings on the controller. The first one is the PC app, which is the same as the Xbox app. So the settings you are seeing on the PC app are going to be the same settings and the same menus and submenus on the Xbox app and through the controller itself, and also using the mobile app. In this case, I will go through the settings using an iPhone, but they're pretty the same with Android devices. So let's start. Alright, here we got our Turtle Beach Control Center 2 app that you can download it from Microsoft Store. I will leave a link down in the description so you guys can download it from that. So once you open the app, here you can choose your device. For example, in this case, we had the Stealth Ultra. So once you click there, you are going to go through the overview. So the overview is letting us know some certain information about the controller, what we have changed and what is not changed and what is active. For example, the Pro Aim, firmware version, and so on. The second tab is the tab regarding the profiles. Here you can choose between 10 profiles and link them to the profiles on the onboard memory of the controller itself. For example, let's choose profile number 1, click on the three dots and assign it on to slot number 1. So that profile is going to be assigned to the slot number 1. So whatever you are changing on this profile is going to be applied on that slot on the onboard memory of the controller itself. The third submenu is regarding the back buttons of the controller. Here you can choose what you want these buttons to act. So you can click here and then you can choose between these remapping buttons. For example, let's choose Pro Aim here, and choosing Pro Aim, you can choose the Pro Aim level here by going by 0 to 10. I would suggest to start with 5 and then check how that is working for you in your game, because depending on games, these values might be okay or not. Moving to the next submenu, here we have the sticks response, and here you have the preview of how the stick is moving. For example, if I move it as so, you can see the stick how it's moving and where it's going depending on the response you are choosing. For example, let's choose precise. You can see a preview on how the stick is moving, and if you want fast, again, whatever you are touching, the stick a little bit touching and it's going to move faster than the standard, of course. And here you also with the right stick, you can choose the same, and you can have a preview also here of what the stick is doing. Here you can change also the dead zone if you want the dead zone of the stick. This can be useful in certain games like racing or whatever, when you don't want the stick to be that much reactive as it's supposed to be. And for shooters, I would suggest to leave this in 0, left sticks to move it on fast and the right stick to move it on precision. You can start and try this one if it's worked for you, otherwise you can go back to standard. Moving on the other submenu, here we have the submenu for the triggers, so you can check the triggers how they are reacting, and here also the icon here is letting us know that we have chosen to have the more response triggers. So also here again you can choose the trigger dead zone if that's helpful with your game. In my opinion, in shooters, moving the fast response here of the triggers is enough, but if that's not working for you, you can try and change some trigger dead zones. Moving on the next submenu, here we have the audio. If you want to use an headphone connecting to the 3.5mm jack that this controller have, here you can change certain settings regarding the volume. You can decide the game volume between 0 and 10. I would again suggest you to start with 5 and then see how that's work with your specific headset. Here we have also the mic monitoring. If you want to monitor yourself while speaking on game or on chat, I will start with 1 or 2 for not having those kind of weird sounds or listening to yourself whenever you are speaking. And here we have the chat mix. If you want to listen more to the game, you have to go this way, and if you have to listen more to your voice or to the chat voice or to the lobby voice, you have to move on this side. Again, also here start with the 5 value, and then you have to decide which is working better for you and what you want actually to listen. Here we have the mic mute and unmute, which is a little bit strange. I would expect it to have a specific button on the controller for enabling and disabling the mic, but anyway, you can do it from here or also on the controller itself. We will get to that in a minute. Here we have certain equalizer settings with the superhuman hearing, which I've tried a little bit, and actually I didn't like it at all, but you can try and see if that's working for you. And here we have 4 equalizer presets. Unfortunately, there are no sliders and frequency bands for changing the presets, so you have only these 4 equalizer settings here, so you can choose whatever you like the most. I would suggest to start with sound because that will be somehow related related to the game sound design, so that will be a little bit better, but you can choose even if you want bass boost or treble or voice if you want to listen to the voices on the game. Moving on lighting submenu, here we can change some RGB and other effects. You can change between these colors here, or you can choose a custom color here if you want. And as we can see on the left here, you have the preview on what the RGB lighting is going to be. And here you can change what kind of effect you want: breathing, color cycle, dynamic, linear pulse, and whatever. And here we can choose also the effect speed, slow, medium, or fast. If you want to save a little bit more of battery, I would suggest you leave it on static and this color here, and then we will go to other settings that we can dim a little bit the light. So moving on the vibration submenu, here we can change the vibrations of the triggers and of the handles, which I suggest you to start with 5 because the controller really have a high vibration system, so it's going to also save some battery in this case. So I would start again with 5, and if that's work for you, you can leave it as it is, or you can change it for less or for more values depending on how you want this vibration to be on the handle and on the trigger. Moving on the system, here we have certain settings regarding the power mode and the LED brightness. On the power mode, you can choose between 4 settings, which is eco, balanced, full, and custom. Eco is going to disable all the lighting and also the display for saving battery. Balanced will somehow dim the lights, and balance also the vibration will be reduced a little bit for letting you save a little more of battery, and full will use all the settings as they are, so you're not going to save any battery here. On the custom, you can choose between these settings here, and again you can save a little bit more of battery if you want. So the LED brightness, as I was saying previously, here you can leave it on 5 for having less RGB lighting and save a little bit more of battery if you want. The screen brightness you can choose as your preference. I would prefer to leave it on 10 because I want to see the notifications on the screen, but you can change it on whatever works better for you. Here we have the screen timeout, so the screen is going to be dimmed if you are not using the controller or if you are not doing certain actions on the controller, and you can choose between 0 and 10 minutes. If you want, you can leave it on 5 minutes again for saving a little bit more of battery. And here we have the sleep timeout, again same as screen timeout. If you are not using the controller at all, the controller will go in the sleep mode depending on how many minutes you have chosen this value. I will leave it again in 5 minutes. If you are not using in 5 minutes, the controller is going to go in sleep mode. And here we have the charge LED brightness, which is the small light near to the Xbox button, and here you can choose what kind of brightness you want. That doesn't consume any battery in my opinion, so you can leave it even on 10 if you want. And here we have some calibration menu and some factory reset. The calibration submenu here have a little issue in my opinion, which if you start the calibration, you have to go through the calibration all the buttons, otherwise the controller will be a little bit crazy and will start going to act crazy, and certain buttons are not going to work properly. So if you decide to start the calibration, you have to begin and finish the calibration on all the buttons of the controller. And the factory reset is if you want to reset the controller to the default settings. And here on the last submenu, we have the firmware settings, when you can decide to update firmwares on the transceiver or also the controller. As you can see here, we have the latest firmware, which is the 1.0.7, that I would suggest you guys to check frequently if you have some firmware updates, because the controller have its issues. So that is providing and thankfully is pushing updates on this controller frequently. So again, I would suggest you use the control if you notice certain issues with your controller or certain strange behaviors, to go here and check if you have some firmware updates. So with all that said, let's check some settings on the controller itself, because there are certain differences from the settings on the PC app. Right guys, here we have the controller, and let's go through some settings on the controller itself. But before diving into the controller settings, let's get an overview on what you see on the screen. Here we have the profile actually selected and applied to the controller. Here we have connection, as we can see, wireless, but if you connect the USB cable, here is going to show the icon of the USB cable used, and here we have the battery status, and here is for entering the settings, and this is the notification icon when you connect the controller with your mobile in order to check the notification. We will get to that also in a minute. So for entering in the menu and changing the settings of the controller, you have to press the plus button here and then the Y button. The first thing you are going to see here is the connect submenu if you want to connect the controller with other devices, Xbox, your PC, and other devices. Don't be confused with the uplink connection, which is the submenu and the settings that allows you to connect it with your mobile. So moving back to the connect, if you enter in the submenu, you have the chance to choose between wireless Xbox on PC or smart devices if you want to connect it to other smart devices. You You can try by yourself to see if this controller will be connected to some other smart devices for. And if we move on the left, again we have the uplink settings. So if you enter here, you have activate the Bluetooth and the connection with your mobile, and you have to go, if you want, you can go also on the pairing submenu here, as we can see pressing the Y button. Let's move to lighting submenu, which these settings are similar to the settings we have seen on the PC. So here are distributed in another kind of submenus and with other settings. Here we have to change the color if you want to change the color, effects and effect speed. As we have seen previously in the app, you can change the colors here. We can change also the effects and the effect speed. Moving back here, we have the vibration submenu. If you want the left side, or if you want the right side, left trigger, right trigger, and we go back, move back to left side. So here you can choose what level of vibration you want for each of these sections. Moving here, we have the axis mapping, the left stick response if you want it standard, precise, and fast. And here, as you can see, this is letting you know how the controller is going to act wherever you are going to change these settings. If you're going to change in fast, or if you are going to change in precise or in standard. And here you can choose also the left stick dead zones if you want to choose a dead zone for those left sticks. And here we can change the right stick, again the same as the left stick. And here we have the left trigger if you want to change the dead zone for the left trigger. You can do it by, so it's going to move in unit by 5, as we can see, 5%, 20, 25, and so on. Right trigger, again the same as with the left trigger, you can change the dead zones. That's it. Now moving on buttons, this is related to the buttons that we have here, the P1, P2, P3, and P4 that we have here on the back of the controller. So here you create and you can change what kind of actions you want these buttons to be applied. As we can see, you can apply, for example, let's say I want to give it a pro aim, and pro aim level would leave it at 5, and here we go. So as we can see, the P1 is remapped with the pro aim settings. Here we have the settings related to a headset. I actually don't have connected any headset, but here you can change settings related to the audio, which are the same exact settings that we have seen on the PC app. And here we have the profile. If you want to choose between from 1 to 10 profiles, you can go by this and then select the profile that you want to be applied. And here we have the notification regarding the socials. Wherever you are going to connect the controller with the uplink, this you are going to see here notifications from the supported app, which actually are basically most of the social apps like Twitch, Discord, if I'm not wrong, WhatsApp, or whatever app you want to use. And on the system submenu, here we have the firmware if we want to check the version of the firmware. And here is saying to us that the current version is the 1.0.7, and it's letting us know that we have to connect to the USB cable and to open the app on the PC for updating the firmware. Here we have the calibration. Again, if you enter into this submenu, you have to complete the calibration, otherwise the controller will act crazy. Here we have the screen brightness. As you can see, you can dim the screen brightness if you want to save to 1. So I will suggest you guys to leave it between 5 or 7. So this is up to you and depends how you want this to be. Here we have the LED brightness if you want to choose between basically 0, which is going to turn off the RGB, as we can see here, and if you move it, going to turn it on and give it the brightness depending on what values you are choosing. Here we have the screen timeout. As we can see here, we can choose between 0 and 10 minutes. Sleep timeout, again same settings as we have seen on the PC, from 0 to 10 minutes. Power mode, in this case I have the custom power mode, but you can choose between full and whatever. Here we have the charging LED. If you want to turn it on and off, it doesn't change anything in terms of power saving and anything else. And here we have the social alert color, depending on what color you want to choose for your social alert. Say I will leave it on green. As we can see here, the light are going to change color depending on which color we are choosing, and if we have one alert, this is going to change color and letting us know that we have some alerts on our socials. Here, if you want to reset to default settings the controller, and here again moving back to firmware settings and information. So that's all for the settings on the controller itself. Let's move on to the mobile and check some other settings also over there. Now here we have our controller connected with a mobile app. Here I'm using the iPhone, but these are the same settings also on the Android devices. So what we can do here is click on the 3 dots and disconnect the device if you want to disconnect the device. Moving on the profiles, we have the same settings, and similar to what we are using on the PC app, we have the device memory and the local profiles if you want to apply the profiles to those device memories. As we can see, we have up to 10 profiles and 10 slots. If we move to system, here we can change certain settings if we want to change the power settings and the settings regarding the LED brightness or the power mode. If you can see, we can change the certain settings related, and if you want, you can choose to factory reset the controller from here. And in the settings, that is only the information regarding the version of the app itself. So as we can see, there is nothing else you can change here. Just what we can change here is enable a profile or change one profile. We cannot change the settings on the controller itself. So that's all for the settings on mobile app. Those were some advanced settings on the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra Wireless controller. There are some buttons and actions to customize, and you can change those settings easily according to the game you are playing. The PC Xbox app needs some serious work. It has a lot of bugs and certain settings won't be applied unless you try different times. I suggest changing the settings on the controller itself instead, so you are sure those changes are applied correctly. But keep in mind, you have to do those changes when you are not in game, otherwise the controller will not be responsive and you have to wait at least 1 minute. The mobile app, at least the iOS version, doesn't add anything more and is useful only to connect the controller to the mobile for sharing social notifications and nothing else. Hopefully they will constantly update the app and release some new firmware to don't waste all the potential this controller has. If you are new here and found this video and these advanced settings helpful, please consider subscribing, hit the like button and don't forget to enable the notifications. Thanks a lot for your support and thanks for watching.